Gentleman's recognized for 3 minutes.
Mr. Speaker, I thank the gentleman for yielding, and I'm pleased to see this legislation on the floor this evening. I think it's critical that we pass this bill today, and many in the majority did too. I know it's not the bill that many of our friends on the other side would have liked to have had passed tonight, but I also know that they understand that there's a huge gap at this moment in the intelligence that we're watching, that we're gaining, that we're analyzing. This bill closes that gap. Earlier today would have been better to pass this bill. 3 weeks ago would have been better to pass this bill, but I'm grateful that we have a chance before Congress goes into a district work period for a month to get this critically important piece of legislation passed. 3 weeks ago, we read the National Intelligence Estimate if we wanted to take time to look at that estimate. And it was publicly stated during that estimate that our terrorist enemies were regrouping, that their communications had heightened, that their planning appears to be heightening, and we also understood at that time that we were not monitoring the communication that we knew we needed to be monitored because the law hadn't kept up with technology. This takes the 1978 law. It provides the same protection for Americans that they had in 1978, 1988, 1998, and now as we approach 2008, it just simply lets us have the definitions of the law meet the technology of the time. The Attorney General and the Director of National Intelligence have to have approval. That's a change, and it's an important change. This is no longer only one person in the executive branch, but two people, both of whom have both responsibilities and penalties if they don't make the right decision under the law. This monitors the communication of foreign people, of people who are initiating their communication in a foreign country. It protects Americans. That's why the FISA court was created. Americans are still protected under the FISA court as they were under the technology of 1978. I'm pleased to see this on the floor. I'm glad that the majority has agreed with us that while many of them don't like this piece of legislation, the gap was too big not to take the bill that could wind up most quickly now on the President's desk and pass it tonight. And I urge my colleagues to support this, and I'm grateful to my colleagues for seeing that this gap will not continue between now and Labor Day. I yield back.
Gentleman yields back.